I'm not even going to wait for the awkward silence this time.
Damn, look at that. I was going to do it, and Peter just jumped right in. Ooh. All right, Peter, get into it.
Yeah, Mike, let's get into it.
Don't step on my bit.
Maybe that's the only way to stop you doing it. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not even going to wait for the awkward silence this time because Mike and John love to let me sweat for a few seconds before I crumble like a snowflake. And
that's something we're doing to you.
Yes, it is. Yeah, entirely. I blame you guys entirely. Anyway, we are... Do you know, I think I've even forgotten what story we're talking about.
TV, cable.
Oh, yeah. Why'd you rescue him, John?
Sorry, it's my job. And people are watching this intro. Yellow, let's go.
Right.
The Streaming Wars. It's a great episode. Watch it. Loads of fun.
Let's get into it. The anticlimactic death of the streaming wars. The headline caught me off guard a little bit, which is why it caught my attention.
I'll tell you what, the image there is catching me off guard. What's going on there, man?
So this was a reboot or a remake of A League of Their Own that was supposed to focus on the relationships of the women, I guess, but it got canceled as part of this kind of collapse of the streaming ecosystem in the face of a writer's strike and SAG strike. Or SAG or
SAG regardless. And
so basically the point of the stories are talking about how we had kind of our heyday of the streaming wars, great content, no ads, cheap service, just everything we wanted as consumers. But now, because of consolidation and advertisers and competition and the collapse of the, movie theaters and all that, we're basically moving back to essentially what we had with cable, which is limited choices, competition for advertisers, more advertisers, and it's just not as great as it used to be.
And higher prices.
Higher prices.
I have a distinct memory that I'm pretty sure I called this like 7 months ago. We talked about this.
Yeah,
I mean, this has been a long time coming. Yeah, this has been a long time coming. Like, it was very visible that, like, as soon Netflix dominated for a while, as soon as you saw Amazon and Disney and HBO and Hulu and all of these and Paramount and all of these competitors started entering the scene with their own streaming services begrudgingly, right? Very not happy. They were very unhappy to do so. You started to see this. Like, you started to see that, like, holy shit, cable is like competitive again, which is wild, right? Because at least with cable, you get everything. And sure, it might not be when you want it to be, but you have on demand. You can just say, like, record this episode. And it is a bit wild. Like, that we've now kind of gone full circle to have all of these subscriptions. You're going to run at least $100 a month, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you want the primo stuff, maybe even closer to $200 a month. That's $2,500 a year just for content. Yep. And who in their right mind is going to be paying that? So what we're seeing is, which is also something we talked about, people are going to start and stop their subscriptions. Yeah.
In the article, they talk about how access to live sports was a big thing that kept people from cable cutting. Mm-hmm. And I cut the cable in 2006. I was a fairly early adopter of that. And live sports was definitely one of the main things that I missed out on for a very long time. Also live news, interestingly. Hard to get that streaming. But I will say I've been very impressed by... I've seen it mostly in Netflix. I'm sure the other platforms are doing it. I know Disney does, but they've had some very like big budget, full like cinematic experience movies made for Netflix recently. And I've actually been pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, the solution to the things you just described, the problems that you described, is to not give a shit about sports or the current events, and then problem solved. Like that. And I, from my point of view, you're not missing anything at all.
One devastating piece of news from the article is that Prime Video has canceled the second season of The Peripheral.
I know.
That it had previously renewed back in February.
They literally greenlit this show.
And now have canceled it.
And it's such a good concept.
Great show. Great show. Very disappointed.
Great books as well. I'm very surprised it didn't carry on because there's like
we
meat
don't
to
read
the story
here.
there, So sorry, I don't know why I brought it up.
No, but obviously, like we're seeing this more and more where super high cost productions, oh my god, what is it called?
The Witcher.
I mean, The Witcher's still going, but barely. It was terrible. I mean, don't even watch the last season. It's called oh my god, I actually will be stuck on this forever if I don't dig it up. But it's basically what I'm getting to is
Sense8, the OA. I'm not okay with this. Santa Clarita Diet, Glow, 18.
Santa Clarita
Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon. Yeah.
Carbon.
So Altered Carbon got canceled because it was too expensive, and this is definitely why Peripheral was canceled. Is because these super high production sci-fi shows cost so much money to make it look good. That like they just can't afford it. Like they lose money on it, so they cancel, which is so upsetting because like I don't know if you guys watched Altered Carbon, but holy fuck, that show was good. And same goes for obviously The Peripheral had so much promise. As long as Apple doesn't cancel Foundation, I'm still happy.
Don't say that, man, because I think you've just told its death now with that. As long as that doesn't happen, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
It's kind of guaranteed that it's going to get cancelled.
If Foundation gets canceled, it's actually doomed because that show is a masterpiece. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not.
Okay. Speaking of which, we don't want to get cancelled. So if you want to support us and make sure that we keep going, like and subscribe. Like and comment, help us with the algorithm. I read something recently that if you want to be successful at something, you have to do it for at least 10,000 hours. And I'm pretty sure we're coming up at 10,000 hours of video. So
are we?
No, we're nowhere near it. We've done 500 or 600 videos.
For good or bad, we can't be canceled. I don't know if that's who pays for
help
that.
The algorithm. Didn't we have a subscribe thing ready to go?
A subscribe thing?
No. Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
Sorry, I thought.
You mean the little effect that Mike has?
Yeah, the little effect. That was cool. I like that
effect.
Little
you like this overlay? Thing? Yeah, this overlay.
Yeah.
I don't put it over top of my memes, Peter. People need to see my memes. That's the focus.
Read.
Jeez.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about subscribing to our channel. I forgot what we're talking about now, but it was fun.
It's fun. It was
a
fun.
Good episode.
It was good stuff. Yeah.